Hi friends, welcome to Crafternoon. Today we're going to be reading the book The Grouchy Ladybug by Eric Carle. When we're done with our summary of the story, you will have the chance to create a ladybug craft, and if you would like to submit a photo of your created craft to our Facebook page by midnight Sunday, April 28th, you will have a chance to win this book and this cute little plush ladybug. Your child's face does not need to be in the picture, just the craft. So let's get started with the story. I'm unable to read the entire book due to copyright regulations, but I can give you a quick summary. This is the Grouchy Ladybug. It was nighttime and some fireflies danced around the moon, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun started to come up and a friendly ladybug flew in from the left. It saw a leaf with many aphids on it and decided to have them for breakfast. But just then a grouchy ladybug flew in from the right, and the grouchy ladybug saw the aphids and wanted to have them for breakfast as well. "Good morning," said the friendly ladybug. "Go away," said the grouchy ladybug. "I want those aphids." "Well, we could share them," said the friendly ladybug. "No, they're mine, all mine." "Do you want to fight me for them?" "Well, if you insist," answered the friendly ladybug. It looked the other bug straight in the eye, and the grouchy ladybug stepped back. It looked a little less sure of itself. "Oh, you're not big enough for me to fight anyway," said the grouchy ladybug. "Why don't you go pick on somebody your own size or somebody bigger?" "I'll do that," said the grouchy ladybug, and it flew off to go find someone bigger to challenge. And as the story progresses, the time throughout the day goes across the top, so you can see 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and so on. So you can kind of learn how to tell time in this story. At 6 o'clock, the grouchy ladybug found a yellow jacket down here and asked it if you want to fight. Well, the yellow jacket said, "If you insist," and it showed its very sharp stinger. You're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug. So the next hour, at 7 o'clock, it met a stag beetle. Look at that. It had very large jaws that chomped. And the ladybug challenged it, but then decided, maybe you're not big enough for me to fight. And then found, does anybody know what these are? A praying mantis. They're really cool. We have them around our area. A praying mantis, but moved on and then found a sparrow, but said, "You're not big enough for me to challenge," and moved on to a lobster. That's right. But then decided, "You're not big enough to challenge," so moved on to a skunk. Stinky skunk. "You're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug, and flew on to find a snake. This is a boa constrictor. But the ladybug decided, "I'm not going to challenge you. I need to challenge somebody bigger," and moved on to a hyena. And then moved on to a gorilla. But the gorilla was still not big enough for the ladybug to challenge. And so then the ladybug found a rhinoceros with a very large horn. Look at that horn. But the ladybug felt like, "You're still not big enough for me to challenge." So it moved on to an elephant. Do you know how to make an elephant sound? Good job. But the elephant wasn't big enough to fight. So the ladybug flew on and tried to fight a whale. The whale did not answer when the ladybug challenged him, but the ladybug said, "You're not big enough for me to fight anyway." So the ladybug flew on and flew and flew. So at about 5:15, the grouchy ladybug sat on one of the whale's flippers. "Hey, you want to fight?" But didn't get an answer. So it flew on. And at 5:30, the grouchy ladybug was on the whale's fin. Hey, you want to fight? But it didn't get an answer because fins don't talk, but it kept on flying. And at 5:45, it landed on the whale's tail and asked, hey, do you want to fight? And the whale's tail gave the Grouchy Ladybug a little slap. And the ladybug went flying, and it flew across the sea and across the land. And guess what, friends? It ended up at 6 o'clock, right back where it started from, back on the same leaf with the friendly ladybug. And the friendly ladybug said, here you are again. You must be hungry. There's still some aphids left. You can have them for dinner if you'd like. And this time, the wet and tired and hungry Grouchy Ladybug said, oh, thank you. And the friendly ladybug said, you're welcome. And soon all the aphids were off of the leaf, and the leaf said, thank you. You're welcome, said both ladybugs, and they went to sleep. And then the fireflies were out again. So that is the Grouchy Ladybug. We are going to be making a ladybug craft, so you could grab your craft packet. You'll need a pair of scissors today, and maybe if you have a black crayon or marker, that would be helpful as well. So let's get those craft packets and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take our green piece of paper, and you can draw a leaf on there, and your ladybug's going to sit on that leaf. So your leaf can be whatever size or shape you would like it to be. So go ahead and draw your leaf, and we'll get that cut out and ready to go. So we need a spot for that ladybug to sit and relax and maybe eat a few of those little aphids. You maybe have seen some ladybugs out and about already this spring. So there you have a leaf. You can just kind of put that off to the side. The next thing we're going to do is take our red paper and make a ladybug. So I gave you a full sheet. That would be a really large ladybug. You can make it big, you can make it small. I think I'm going to cut my paper in half. That way, if I don't like the shape of my ladybug or the way it looks, then I have some extra paper to try again. You can either draw it out or you can just cut freehand. But I'm going to kind of leave it flat, and I'm going to make a hump or a half circle. If you're at home doing this, you might have a bowl you can trace around if you want to make your ladybug a half circle. You might want to do that. So this is going to be my ladybug, and he'll end up sitting, or she'll end up sitting on a leaf there. So there is her body. You also have a gray piece of paper. We're going to cut a circle out of that to make her head, kind of like the Krabby Grouchy. And so I'm going to do a circle. You can either cut freehand or you can trace something, the bottom of a glass, or just draw your own circle. You can see my circle is not perfect, but I think it's just fine. And so that's going to end up right in here for our ladybug head or face. If you want to, you can use the gray to make the little antenna that come up. And so I think I'll probably do that. And so I'm just going to make it pretty easy. And I'm going to cut out a long rectangle and then cut it in half. So that's going to end up being the antenna that I'll glue behind. So I'm just kind of piecing everything together right now, and then I will glue it all together soon. You also have some white paper, and that can be for your circles for your eyes. And I'm going to kind of do that same thing. I'm going to save half in case I don't like the way it looks. And then to make two eyes the same, I'm going to get tricky, and I'm going to fold this in half. And then I'm going to cut out a circle for the eyes. And this way, since I folded it in half, it's going to make 2 eyes that look exactly the same for me. So then I have 2 matching eyes. You also have black paper, and kind of the same thing. I'm going to save some of that paper in case I need it. But with this paper, we're going to cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little legs, however you want them to look. And then we're going to need to cut out some polka dots to stick on our ladybug. And they have all different numbers of dots, or if it's easier for you, you can use your marker or crayon and draw the dots on, whatever you prefer. I'm going to start with my legs, and I think I'm going to make my legs so they're kind of going down and then have a little foot kicking out. So my legs are going to look kind of like this, kind of like that, like little hockey sticks. So we'll do a couple more legs, and they're kind of sticking together a little bit, friends. Just kind of get them lined up over there so we can end up with 6. I've got 4. I need to cut 2 more legs out. So ladybugs are kind of fun. They're pretty, cute little things. And we all have them around our houses in the summertime. Okay, that'll be my last little leg. Also with the black, I'm going to use my paper. I'm going to cut out the middle of the eye, or what we'll call the pupil. But you can also just do that with your marker if that's easier for you. So I'm going to cut out a couple circles that will glue on in the middle of my ladybug's eyes. Okay, so we're getting there. Now I'm going to cut out some dots to place around on my ladybug's back. So I might cut out a couple strips of paper about the same size. And you can either draw on circles or you can cut those freehand. I'm folding my paper up so then I get a bunch of circles or dots the same size, but they do not have to be the same size. So then I will place dots around on my ladybug. You can even, if you want to, do like a half circle where it's coming partway off your ladybug's shell. So I'll make one of those, cut out another circle, make one of those quick and show you what I'm talking about. I don't think this one's going to be exactly the same size, but that is just fine. So let's say you have another circle like this. Make it just a little bit smaller. So another circle, you could cut that circle in half and glue it off to the side and make like a half dot on the side of your ladybug. Okay, friends, so I don't think you probably need to sit and watch me glue all that together. The last thing I would do is I'm going to put a little face on my ladybug, and since this guy's supposed to be kind of crabby or grouchy ladybug, I'm going to make him grouchy. Now, because you cut your paper in half, you could make 2 ladybugs. You could do one happy one and one crabby one. And then you can glue him onto your leaf. And so that is your Grouchy Ladybug craft after you get everything all glued on and ready to go. Remember that if you would like a chance to win this book and the stuffed ladybug, all you have to do is post a picture of your craft on the Facebook page by midnight on Sunday, April 28th. For a chance to win. And then as always, we have the computer randomly select a winner for us, and we will let you know who wins. So thank you for crafting with us. Don't forget to come into the library or look on our webpage because all the new summer activities are out. Lots of fun things happening in May, June, and July, and everything is free. So make sure you come and see us at the library this summer. Thanks so much for crafting with us, and have a great day.